on-the-spot reviews of the latest movies in your backyard. Hey moviegoers, this is Justin with On The Road Reviews. Joining me tonight in the back, we have Adam back.
Hello.
How you doing, Adam?
I'm good. Good.
Joining us for the first time, we have Paul Wilson.
Last names.
I'll cut it.
Okay.
How you doing?
And riding shotgun, man the camera, we have Isaac.
What's up? Alright.
So what are we seeing tonight, guys?
We are going to see the Green Hornet.
The Blue Wasp.
The Red Bumblebee.
The Yellow Butterfly.
With all our powers combined.
We are Captain Planet. I'm not really excited about this. I'm not a huge Seth Rogen fan. I'm not saying he's bad. He's just kind of hit or miss with me with his movies.
The only movie that I ever really like that Seth Rogen was in was Zack and Miri. But that's just because of the fact that I'm a Kevin Smith fan. Which, you know, probably speaks droves about my personality. The main reason that I want to go see Green Hornet is because of the fact that I actually watched the old television show. The old show was famous because of the fact that Bruce Lee was the one who played Kato. And the show was one of the first bridges between American and Asian cinema, really. In fact, it was so popular over in Asia that it was never known as the Green Hornet. It was actually called the Kato Show. I want to see if they, at least make some kind of homage to Bruce Lee in this. Or if this is just going to be, one of those cut and dry superhero movies that we've seen way too many of.
Okay, I'm supposed to follow that up, but I like Seth Rogen. I like a lot of his movies. There's been a few that I wasn't too crazy about. I don't know much about the movie, the history behind it. I just got filled in, actually, but I think it'll be probably funny, but probably not his best work, so.
Way back when I heard about this movie, like 2-3 years ago, whenever they announced it, and I heard that it had Seth Rogen attached to it, that threw me off quite a bit because, it's a superhero movie, and you got this guy who's famous for making mediocre to okay to just downright crappy comedies. But, I do like some of his work. Knocked Up and Superbad. One's mainly that he's not main character. I know he's the main character in Knocked Up, but I digress. One of the interesting things I saw about this movie that I think is going to be something that hooks me is they're taking it in sort of a new direction is what I saw. They're going to do this thing called Kato Vision. Have y'all heard about that?
No.
Yeah, like whenever Kato starts wailing on people, he's going to do his own little threat assessment thing where anything that's a threat is going to glow red and he's going to flip kick it or something. It's going to be interesting. I think it's going to be probably in the same vein as like the Scott Pilgrim movie. Maybe. I don't know. I'm interested, but I'm not all too hopeful. And there's apparently going to be a lot of car action because they made a big deal about the car.
It is a nice car.
One of the things about the Green Hornet is that he was a blatant ripoff of Batman. They both have very similar stories. Parents get killed, billionaire by day, superhero by night. This was actually, the comparisons between them were actually so heavy that in the show during the 60s of Batman and the Green Hornet, they both had their own shows, there was a crossover episode. And one of the things that they made a very big deal about was one of the infamous fights between Bruce Lee and I cannot remember for the life of me the guy that played Robin next to Adam West.
Casey Kasem?
Was that Casey Kasem?
It was Casey Kasem.
It was Casey Kasem. But they made a very big deal about the fight between Bruce Lee and Casey Kasem that the fans basically decided that it needed to end in a stalemate. They refused to determine who was the better martial artist. And that was just kind of one of those interesting little things from old 60s cinema. I grew up watching this crap. So...
Okay, he just said that about the kung fu thing, and as a side note, we're about out of gas, ain't we?
Yes, we are. But I could actually make it.
Oh boy.
You'll make
Well,
it.
hey, you want to coast to neutral? Bam. We're on the road reviews, but for how much longer will we be on the road? Okay, avid fans, here's the situation. We are out of gas. So,
Rock on.
we are going to have to trek all the way up there to get some gas and return to the Jeep. Will we make it? Will that guy hit us?
Find out next.
Will that guy hit us? Find out
Pop out of the
when they come back.
This is the man that helped save the review. Kevin, say hi.
Hey, how are you?
We'd like to thank you again
Yep.
for giving us a hand.
Ain't no problem, fellas. I know how it is.
All right. Well, you guys have a good night.
All right, you too.
Sure, why not?
Okay, the movie started at 9:45. We're finally back on the road. We gotta stop and get gas. We may have missed key critical plot points.
Plot points. A Seth Rogen movie?
Yeah, like fart jokes. They're key plot points, aren't they?
I was gonna make the fart joke.
First off, I need to say, Seth Rogen, I apologize. I apologize for some of the nasty things that I have said about you in the past. I was very pleasantly surprised.
I liked it. I thought that it was an absolute barrel of laughs. I thought that it was completely ridiculous and completely over the top and completely full of mayhem and destruction, and I loved every minute. I can honestly say that I was very impressed. I thought that, the humor was well placed, the movie was well paced. Definitely not a movie that you want to take your little kids to see, because let's face it, Seth Rogen does deliver, the fart jokes and all that stuff. But on the other hand, we arrived just a few minutes late. Just a few minutes late, thanks to our little venture earlier.
Technical difficulties.
Yeah, we'll go with that. We'll go with that. But even with missing the first few minutes of it, sitting down, it was literally one laugh after another. I did not stop giggling from the time I sat down to the time the credits started rolling. And to me, any movie that can make me do that, good or bad plot or what have you, is a good movie to me. It's a good, turn off your brain, sit down, and have fun movie.
I really enjoyed the movie. I was already a Seth Rogen fan, but I was pleasantly surprised with this movie. I thought it was going to be one of his lamer movies, but it was actually really good. Kato is my new hero, the martial arts and being a mechanic and master fabricator of all types of weapons. And it looks like he can make a good cup of coffee. But I was definitely pleasantly surprised with this movie, and I would definitely suggest going to see it without the kids.